What's up, everybody? Oh god, I just realised I sound like Doctor Who fan 91 there. Sorry, dude. I know you watch these videos. Okay, so we have just had a Doctor Who leak come on Reddit. And it's actually quite an interesting one, and I want to just kind of cover it with you guys because I want to see what you guys think as well. So first off, this leak I seen first on the Nerd Den, who is amazing as well, by the way. But this one's actually quite an interesting leak. So first off, the leak starts off with talking about the boys. Then it moves on to talking about how Amazon are reportedly being extremely thorough with their James Bond search. Some names like Jacob Elordi were only early wish list ideas, not real contenders. I'm sure I seen a post the other day, if I did I'll pop it on screen, about the new James Bond. Actor Ben Hardy is said to have auditioned recently as well. But yeah, we're not here for the James Bond stuff. Further down from that, we've got the Doctor Who Christmas special leak. So basically this leak goes on to say that the Christmas special script allegedly hasn't changed much from earlier drafts, which completely throws a 360 because what we were understanding was there was a lot of scripts for the Christmas special, and Russell had wrote multiple scripts for the special with different endings, different outcomes, different characters for this. So this basically makes me think that it's just referring to this one script, where I'm assuming this one script now has just been edited multiple times throughout the period of the year, which kind of debunks the theory, I suppose, if if we believe that Russell did actually have multiple scripts for the BBC. It also talks about the BBC and Russell having supposedly brainstormed a new ending for this script as well. Again, something that we were kind of aware of because there was meant to be multiple different drafts of this same script for the Christmas special. But the purpose of this new ending is to set up a fresh direction for the next showrunner, which, okay, there has been rumours circulating that Russell is leaving. It kind of makes sense that Russell would be leaving after the Christmas special anyway, because of the way the BBC said that Russell agreed to write the Christmas special for Doctor Who, whereas if he was still going to be the showrunner, he would have been writing the Christmas special for Doctor Who regardless anyway. Normally the showrunner would, if you look at the history of the show. So yeah, that kind of confirms that Russell probably will be leaving, which we all kind of expected anyway. Don't have a clue who the hell. I would need to actually sit and have a think about that, who I would want to take over for the showrunner. I know that I would really like someone different. I would like a different team completely. So like no more Moffat, no more Chibnall, no more Davies. Just get a whole entire new team in. A team that loves Doctor Who. They've got to love Doctor Who, or they've got to at least know the ins and outs of Doctor Who, or take a little bit of time to get to know the ins and outs of Doctor Who in order to write the show the way that the show needs to be written. But it would be nice to have a totally different team in. Fresh new ideas, fresh new faces, and people that know how to tell really, really good stories. That would be my personal preference. I don't care who they are, just as long as they can write really, really good stories to go with the show, because that's what the show needs. So there is 3 big claims here. So the Doctor may be permanently moved to an alternate universe is the first one, which I don't know how I feel about that, actually, because that would basically be doing exactly what you did with Rose, but doing it with the Doctor just so that you can completely wipe away everything that's came before. Like, guys, come on, I know Russell fucked it up, but did he fuck it up that much that you need to put the Doctor in a whole new universe to fix it? Like, come on. It might work, because then that way you've not got that baggage, as I spoke about before in one of my other videos. You've not got that baggage hanging over you from 2005. But at the same time, every time a new era starts of Doctor Who, it is like a complete soft reboot anyway. So moving the Doctor universes, I don't quite understand how that would fix anything. Like, are you going to have the Daleks and the Cybermen and stuff available in that universe? Like, is that how it's going to work? Are they going to just like make the Daleks and the Cybermen pack their bags so that they can move to the new universe with the Doctor as well? Like, the Weeping Angels, like, how does this work? Or is it just going to be complete new monsters? Are we going to have a complete new way that the show runs? Because if anything from series 11 onwards has told you is Doctor Who does not work when you try and run the series without the main returning villains. It just doesn't work. No one likes it. Like, series 11 was like a complete disaster because it didn't have any returning villains. But this would act as a hard reset for the show, which I don't know how you can have a hard reset when you're going to have a character go into a new universe with all that backstory and all that lore, but all the universe is new. Like, how does that work? Because then that way the character would just be like, hey, I'm the Doctor, I'm a Time Lord, my planet Gallifrey blew up and then was brought back, and then blew up and then was brought back and then blew up. Like, that lore is still going to be there, but it's like, you would need to get rid of the Doctor's lore, not the universe's lore. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you have an opportunity here with the Doctor moving that clock a second forward, or whatever it was in time, from the end of season 2, to completely soft reboot the show in that manner anyway, because we don't know how the universe works now, because time has been put back into place. So technically, they already did a soft reboot at the end of series 15. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it. I just hope that they don't find another way to mess it up, to be honest. And besides, wasn't it in Russell's series 2, it was series 2, the parallel universe where Rose ends up living eventually, and it is clearly established in that series that the TARDIS cannot run in a different universe, because it doesn't work, apparently. So at the end of this leak, it does say new universe, new everything. Essentially a clean slate for whoever takes over. But that doesn't make sense, because if you're going to be putting the Doctor into a new universe, as I say, yeah, the universe is going to be new, but does that mean the Daleks still exist? The Cybermen still exist? Like, what villains, what returning villains are they going to be able to use? Because if they're in a new universe, it doesn't necessarily mean that those villains are all there. And the Doctor's still going to have all that baggage from the previous universe anyway. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Maybe you can help me wrap my head around it a little bit more. There is some good implications from this though, because it could be the biggest structural reset since 2005's revival. And 2005's revival did completely reset Doctor Who in a brand new and amazing way, where the show worked for many, many years. Like, it did work fine. And it opens a door for new lore, new companions, new villains, and even new rules. But, as I say, Doctor Who doesn't really work that well with only new villains. Like, it needs to have a mix of returning villains and new villains for the series to be interesting. And I'm not saying end every single series with the Daleks, because that gets boring, or end every series with the Master, because that gets boring. But like, having those returning villains show up, it's fan service, because we enjoy seeing the returning villains. Like, it's been years since we last seen the Daleks, and I would love to see them in this Christmas special, to be honest with you. But essentially what this would do is it would separate RTD's era, which was probably the most bizarre era of Doctor Who I've ever seen, to the next showrunner's era more cleanly than it usually would. Now, you could probably say between RTD and Stephen Moffat's era, there was probably the biggest disconnect on how the show ran, because it was completely different. But then going from Stephen's era to Chibnall's era, that disconnect was quite harsh and quite noticeable. So I don't see how doing this is going to reset the show in any way than it normally would. With a showrunner change, I don't get it. To be honest, I think this leak may be a load of garbage, but yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, another implication of this leak as well is it might be a way to avoid continuity fatigue and give the brand a soft reboot without cancelling anything. Again, change of showrunner does that anyway. Because when a new showrunner comes in, they write the stories they want to write. They have the arcs they want to have. They choose whether they bring old lore back or not. And they have their own Doctor, their own idea of what they want their Doctor to be like, their own idea of what the Doctor carries through with them from the previous history of the show. So I don't understand why you have to move the full show into a new universe. Like, I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. What do you think? Is this a smart move or a risky one? Personally, I don't think fans will love this idea that much. I mean, a lot of fans got upset when the 12th Doctor was going through that temporal portal thing and having sent, and now a lot of them believe that the Doctor's not the real version of the Doctor, which technically, after hearing the theories on that, sounds quite true. So the Doctor's never been the same Doctor since the Doctor remade himself in that machine and having sent. So yeah, I don't know how moving the Doctor into a new universe is going to fix anything, but yeah, if you want, BBC, if you want.